Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Rob from Media Awareness, and the unthinkable has happened. With the release of Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, roughly a month ago, Kate Bush has become popular. Kate Bush is a multi talented singer, songwriter, performer, artistically a genius. Musically, visually, she really is amazing. And for those of you who have never heard of her, this video is to kind of guide you and help to find out where to start if you want to listen to her music, other than the song featured throughout Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, Running Up the Hill. I would presume that with Volume 2 beginning this Friday, that we will hear more of Kate Bush. I could be wrong though. It is possible. So I thought I would make a video and give people an idea of where to go with her music. Because she is very eclectic in nature, and as such, there's kind of a conundrum as far as where do you start? Where do you begin? And one could say with the album Hounds of Love, which does feature Running Up the Hill as the first song on the album. But I would honestly not start there. When I got into Kate Bush in the late 1980s, it was with the release of the album The Sensual World. The Sensual World had a single called Love and Anger. I saw the music video and I fell in love. I thought this is utterly brilliant and I need to have this album. And I went out and I got the album on CD, of course, and I loved every song, which is rare for a 1980s or even 90s album. To love every single song on an album is certainly a rarity. But in the case of Kate Bush, I loved every song on The Sensual World. So, shortly after purchasing the CD, I watched a documentary on VH1, which used to show videos pretty much all the time. And there was a Kate Bush documentary of The Sensual World, sort of her talking about the making of and different things in her career. And it showed highlights of her career from her very start to that point in time, which was interesting for me because I'd never heard any of these songs before. Uh, and I think that that's a brilliant move on the makers of Stranger Things to include Running Up That Hill as part of the soundtrack for kids that don't necessarily fit in with the mainstream because they're going to be drawn to music that was not the mainstream. When I was in high school, my friends and some of the more popular kids would always be listening to Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, and there I was listening to XTC, Echo and the Bunnymen, and Kate Bush. I did have my share of popular bands as well, but I was drawn to those particular artists I just mentioned because they were more accessible to me in terms of relatability, which I think is where Stranger Things excels with the use of running up the hill and the tremendous variations of meaning that the song has and is utilized in the show itself. So if you have heard the song, which I'm going to assume you have, was actually recovered last year and relatively successfully, and a lot of people have covered it over the years. But recently, there's been a resurgence now, people interested in Kate Bush. I honestly thought about this, and if you want to hear specifically Running Up the Hill and a collection of material that is accessible and melodically infectious, I would recommend an album called The Whole Story. It is a compilation, best of, if you will. And normally I do not recommend anyone buying best of, but in this case, because Kate Bush is so all over the place with her music, this would be my suggestion of where to start. The whole story gives you a nice cross section of her career, from her earliest work to the Hounds of Love period, which is the album that featured Running Up the Hill. And of course, Running Up the Hill is on the compilation. If you like the compilation, I would highly recommend going for The Central World next, because that album is just beautiful. Every song is meaningful. They're all like mini poems that are just put to music, and it's absolutely splendid. There's different ways to get the Central World. There is the original release, which uh, was a 1989 issue. There is the re-release of the album remastered in the director's cut special edition collection, and that has disc one, three discs. Disc one has, I believe, remixes of songs from the Central World as well as the Red Shoes, her follow-up album to the Central World. And the other two discs are the Central World and the Red Shoes completely remastered for 2011, I believe, when was released. Now, I prefer that issue over the box set version. It does have a bonus track that was available on the original CD, which is lacking from the remastered box set CD. For some reason, I have no idea why. That being the case, uh, if you do not necessarily want the director's cut 3 disc edition and you don't want to pay the price for that, you can always hunt down the remastered versions of the Essential World and the Red Shoes because it is a great album. Everything that Kate Bush did is great. There is not a bad album. Her career progresses over time, and her first 2 or 3 releases are a bit on the high pitched frequency vocally, and it doesn't always appeal to everyone. Whereas with her fourth album, The Dreaming, she began exploring more range in her vocals and coming down to a more reasonable level for most people to listen to. The Dreaming, however, is an extremely experimental album. I mean, it is out there, but it's great out there. Followed by The Hounds of Love, which is more accessible. It has the singles at the beginning of the album, and the second half of the album is a concept piece that's all strung together. The point is, though, if you're going to check out Kate Bush as a result of Stranger Things, start with the whole story. Follow up with the Essential World. There's similar material, and it is very accessible. I will do a more thorough Kate Bush video at a later date, or if someone requests it. In the meantime, keep in mind to click the like button if this video is helpful to you. Click the bell icon to be notified by YouTube whenever I upload a video. And leave a comment if you're inclined. Also, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a member for the perks that I offer there. I look forward to talking to you all soon. This is Rob with Media Awareness. Have a great night. Bye.